We already know that semicolons can be used between items in complicated lists. They can also be used to show a strong link between two main clauses. Take a look at this example. Ben loved coming to the park. It was his favourite place on earth. Notice how the semicolon is linking two main clauses. That's two clauses that would make sense by themselves. Ben loved coming to the park. That works by itself. It was his favourite place on earth. And so does that. So of course we could use a full stop here, but the semicolon shows the link between the clauses. It shows how they're related. This may sound very similar to using a colon to introduce an explanation, and it is, but there's a slight difference. With a colon, we only have to have a main clause before the colon, whereas with a semicolon, we need a main clause before and after the semicolon. So, using a colon, we could write the sentence like this. Ben loved coming to the park, the best place on earth. We can't use a semicolon here though, as the best place on earth is not a main clause. Okay, take a look at this question. Add a semicolon and a main clause to extend this sentence. Sally couldn't wait for the weekend. Okay, so with this being a main clause, I know that the semicolon is going to need to go here, in place of the full stop. Now I just need to add the second main clause. So what could it be? Well, it needs to be closely linked to the first main clause. Sally couldn't wait for the weekend. As a reader, I'd like to know why. So let's add this after the semicolon. Sally couldn't wait for the weekend. The annual school camping trip. Okay, that sounds pretty good, but there's actually a problem. What I've added isn't a main clause. It doesn't make sense by itself. Listen. The annual school camping trip. So we could fix this by changing the semicolon to a colon, but that wasn't what we were asked to do. We'll therefore need to turn it into a main clause. Let's change it to, it was the annual school camping trip. Now it makes sense by itself, so let's listen to the whole sentence. Sally couldn't wait for the weekend. It was the annual school camping trip. That's great. Notice how the semicolon doesn't end the sentence, so we don't need to start the second main clause with a capital letter. As you can see, semicolons can be used to create a clear link between two main clauses. To make sure you've used a semicolon correctly, check to see if you could use a full stop instead. If you can, then the semicolon is placed between two main clauses.